Hello everybody, Hassan here, engineer, MBA, and investor. And in today's video, I want to talk about the path to curing sickle cell disease, a serious disease that takes people's lives, that reduces lifespan of people, that requires a lot of cost to maintain individuals with the current alternatives we have, that there is no long-term cure available to the masses. That's exactly where CRISPR comes into play. That's exactly what CRISPR companies like CRISPR Therapeutics are trying to tackle with the program CTA001. And that's exactly what CRISPR Therapeutics as a company have already cured some patients in their CTX001 program. I want to talk about all of this, including this article that we're looking at from Innovative Genomics Institute. Before we do that, guys, before we even dive deep in today's video, please do like this video, smash that like button, destroy that like button. It really helps the channel, guys. If you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing just underneath this channel. And I have lowered the voice of this icon that just came on the screen, so hopefully you guys appreciate it. I got some feedback there that it was a bit too loud. So before we even dive in today's video, some notes maybe. I didn't mention this earlier this week, but Canadian elections are done. I know many of you are Canadians, so I'm not sure if you're happy about the election results or whatnot. But I think elections are a great time to sort of remind ourselves what the democracy is all about, right? It's about freedom of speech, ability to vote, and ability to select the entities that will represent our societies and our communities. What's really something I've been really thinking about, and I promise I won't go in this rabbit hole, is the idea that you have to represent millions and millions of people that all have like specific lives, different individuals' lives that really differ from one each other, right? You may need help with housing, for example, but someone else may need help with childcare. But you may not need help with childcare because your decision may be not to have any children. So it's just really interesting. It got me thinking, again, we don't talk about politics in this channel. That's definitely not the purpose of this channel. But I think us as educated investors, we should be aware of what's going on in our communities around the world, not just in Canada. For example, the Canadians watching this channel, or the US. Obviously, we've all seen what happened the past year with Trump and Biden there. But I think it's really important to remind ourselves about freedom of speech, the liberty, the ability to vote, the ability to decide our future. I think it's a fascinating topic. It's a fascinating I know a lot of people shy away from those types of topics because they're very subjective and opinionated, and but it's something I think every citizen should be thinking about, especially during these times where I'm gonna throw out this word out there, but Bitcoin, right? What does Bitcoin do, right? I think this is something that you have to be aware of the landscape, right, in our political lives, right? We all live in societies, communities. If you wanted to be alone in a jungle, you could definitely do it. But if you decide to live in a community, then I think you as a citizen, you have a duty to other citizens as well for the best of the masses, right? And I think this ties really well with this video, right? And this is a great segue. But the path to curing sickle cell disease, right? And we've made early videos in this channel, and I haven't really covered CTX001 from CRISPR Therapeutics, for example, or sickle cell disease just as a general disease that I haven't discussed, in depth since our early videos back in March and early April. And I think it's really important to understand what are we talking about, guys. Like when we talk about these companies, like I want you guys to get wealthier. I want you guys to get wealthier, not just for yourself, but your families, your friends, your fellow investors as well, and just live better lives, right? That's what we do in this channel. We provide education. We never provide financial advice, and we provide education for free, literally. But I think the real winners in the genomic space, in the advance of CRISPR, and just like our 3-part video series that I'm reminded people, the real winners are not these specific companies, whether they're public, private, VCs, accredited investors, or you as a public investor. It's not that. It's the patients, right? The patients are the biggest winners. the patients that have these types of disease, that these disease take people's lives, and it's not just people's life. You have to think it's more than just the individual, right? Their families, their communities shattered, families shattered. These governments are pouring so much money into alternatives that are not working out. Big pharma that is taking your money, your taxes, right? If you live in a society where you pay taxes, some of that is going to healthcare programs, specifically in Canada, for example. You see these governments giving grants to specific companies, private and public companies, and the alternative are just not working out. It's becoming more expensive. The quality of care as it will decrease as you go forward unless you have a technological advance. And that's exactly what genomics brings up to us humanity, right? That's what CRISPR as a technology, right? What is it? What does it do? It based in a first principle thinking is that it eradicates a disease for the first time in human history to the masses, right? And when I mean to the masses, I'm not obviously talking about every single individual on the planet, but I am talking about individuals that were previously left out from these alternative programs that quite frankly do not even work out, right? Sickle cell disease take a lot of people's lives, right? You look at this article here. I'm going to reference to this article, just the first sentence, right? 100,000 Americans, millions worldwide. We've already talked about this, but CRISPR Therapeutics as a company, they're not planning to tackle more than 1,000 patients, assuming they go FDA approval for CTX001. We're talking about around 1,000 patients a year. You extrapolate that for a couple of years, they're going to make billions of dollars. That's given, right? That you guys already know this. I've already repeated this, and like I said, there is ways for these companies to make revenues, significant revenues, and you as a shareholder, you want to back these companies up because you want to promote their mission, right? You want to promote and you want to get fruit of that labor, right? That's how that's how you make money as an investor, right? But ultimately, 100,000 Americans, millions around the world, you need more than just CRISPR Therapeutics, right? You need more than just NTLA, Caribou Biosciences. You need all these companies, Beam Therapeutics. You need more companies, you need more partnerships. You need the Modernas of the world to come together, license the technology, partner up. You need these big pharma companies to wake up and see that the world is changing forward. Genomics is a real thing. The advance of genomics has been real in the past years, specifically since the pandemic. A lot of newly investors, young investors, newer generation are looking into it. And they're like, you know what? I don't want to live in this world where we can produce these cool gadgets, these electrical vehicles on the car, and beautiful gadgets, beautiful smartphones, but my uncle or my aunt still has cancer, right? And I can still have skin cancer. I can still have some sort of cancer, which is crazy when you think about it, right? What's the point of technology if you can't advance humanity forward? And I truly believe eradicating diseases, helping individuals live longer lives, healthier lives is part of advancing humanity forward, right? This is, I can't get over that. I think you guys if you watch my older videos, you will see clearly that's exactly what I was repeating literally every single video. Is that for us to advance as humans, we have to think about the application of CRISPR. We have to think about mapping tools. We have to think about diagnostic tools in genomics, just like Mammoth Biosciences, what they're doing. But we also have to think about editing out, genomes, editing cells specifically, whether that's the first gen of CRISPR, second generation of CRISPR, or even third generation of CRISPR. We want to be in a position to advance humans and eradicate these diseases, eliminate world hunger. And CRISPR as an application, many of its application, one of the things that it could do, it could definitely eliminate world hunger. It could increase your productivity with material sciences. We talk about green energy, we talk about livestock, with the agriculture. All that is all related, guys. It's not just human therapeutics, but to me, the real mission, the real winners are the humans, right? Are the patients, right? With these diseases, our families that are supporting these diseases. I heard I remember this was early in my YouTube channel, early videos. There was this lady that, I was covering this video about actually sickle cell disease from CTX001, and one of her children has sickle cell disease, right? And to me, when I hear about this, guys, it's just, I could make out the best video out there. I could put beautiful graphics and beautiful videos and transitions, but and when I get those types of comments, to me, this is like the creme of the creme. This is the icing on the cake. This is everything, right? It validates what I'm doing. It validates what a lot of you are doing in this community. I think it validates people, because we're moving forward, we're saving people's lives, and you are part of this movement. You are part of this peaceful revolution, and I'm quite excited to see what's coming. Right, this is Sickle Cell Disease Awareness Month. Here you see this infographic here. Currently, the only cure for sickle cell disease is a bone marrow transplant. So expensive, not available to the masses. Just you need something else, guys. 1 out of 13 African American babies is born with at least one sickle cell disease mutated gene. 1 out of 365 African American babies is born with both mutated genes causing sickle cell disease, right? So this is genetics, right? This is passed down through generations, and these types of diseases, if we have a cure for it, if we can eliminate it, we have to do it. It is our duty here to help humanity go forward. It is our duty to relieve people from their pains. And if we have these technologies that can allow us to do that, just like what we saw from Victoria Gray, that was treated in 2009, that really broke the news out there, the first patient that was really cured from sickle cell disease, and other patients as well that they're currently monitoring with CTA-001 from CRISPR Therapeutics. To me, these are the big winners, guys. This is what we need to talk about. This is what our discussions have to start with, right? It shouldn't be starting with, what's the best company to make the most money, right? It really shouldn't. Like, that's not. I strongly believe in this field, just like in other verticals too. Like when we talk about green energy, or like, for example, Tesla, you're not going to start talking about, Tesla's going to double next year, so I should invest in them. That shouldn't be your first due diligence, your first minutes of research. It should be, what is Tesla doing in the energy side of the business? Why is electrical vehicles so important? Why are dirty oils polluting our world? Like, what can we do about it? The same should be applied to genomics and genome editing, right? What are these big pharma doing? Charging people for alternatives that are not even curing people, charging them enormous amount of healthcare bills, and just squeezing out governments, tax money, payers, your taxpayers' money. Food for thought. You gotta remind yourself of the big mission, and I guess that was the purpose of this video here. Again, I wanted to end this video like this. Just wanted to briefly cover this article. I didn't even start reading it here. I will link this article below, but I think these types of articles are amazing. Sort of remind ourselves to what's the mission, why we're doing this. How can we move humanity forward? And although it is really nice to make a lot of money in this field, which I do believe investors will yield a lot of rewards, not financial advice, but I strongly believe with how biotech is going, how the pandemic just changed the landscape, governments and public investors, institutions will pour a lot of money in this space. But I strongly believe we started the wars on cancers, right? For human therapeutics, at least. So in this upcoming decade. So we'll leave this video like this. I'll see you guys maybe this weekend. I am going back on the road, so it's gonna be a little bit hard to make a video, but I think I should squeeze out a video this weekend. I'll be back in Toronto on the road, so hopefully that will go smoothly and well. If you guys have any questions, let me know in the comments below, feedback, and let me know what you think about the mission of what we do in this channel, the mission of what we try to convey. Do you think I'm doing the best I can to really convey that message that the real winners are the patients, or do you think we should be redirecting our narrative there? So let me know. Like this video if you appreciate it. Of course, subscribe if you have not subscribed. Really does help the channel. Share this video amongst your friends and family, and we will see each other in the next video. Thanks for watching. Thank you.